Good morning, Kaden, and welcome to your fractions lesson. Like always, can you please go get something to play with, like Legos or building blocks, whilst we are busy? But always remember, if your hands are busy, your ears must be listening. Now, a fraction is one part of a whole. So let's look here. It's one part of a whole. When we divide things up, we get fractions. So this part of the pie is going to you can eat it, and this part is going to me, I can eat it. So that brings us to fractions, and there are different types. See, so count with me. Let's count 1, 2. But now we only have 1 colored in. So we get 1 over 2. 1 is colored in out of the 2 pieces. Now if we go here, count 1, 2, 3. But 1 is colored in. So 1 is colored in out of the 3. And if we count here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 1 is colored in, we have 1 colored in out of the 4 blocks. And if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 is colored in, 1 is colored in out of the 5 blocks. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1 is colored in. The 1 colored in out of the 6 blocks. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the biggest one. 1 colored in, so the 1 is colored in out of the 7. Now, as you can see, it doesn't matter what shape it is. You can have blocks, circles, shapes, squares, everything. All that matters is how many blocks there are, so 7, and how many of them are colored in. So how many are we looking at? We're only looking at 1 out of the 7. So let's go here. We have 5 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we take 1 out, we get 1 over 5. 1 out. All of these, if we take them apart and have 1 each, we have 1 out of 5. But now the difference with this one from the ones we've just looked at is there are 3 blocks colored in. 3. So we have 1, 2, 3. So that's how we get 3 blocks colored in out of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 blocks. 1, 2, 3. 3 are colored in. So now let's look at the names of our fractions, or the names that are parts of the fraction. The numerator is the number on top, the 3. The fraction line is the line of the fraction, and the denominator is the one at the bottom. So, denominator is bottom, numerator is top. If you can write this down in your book for me, please. So now that we've looked at our namings of the things in a fraction, we're going to look at the names of our fractions. So this is 1 and 2. This is called 1 half, because it's half of the circle. This is called 1 third, like 3, 1 fourth, like 4, 1 fifth, like 5, 1 sixth, like the number 6, and 1 seventh. You're just going to have to learn these names in your book on page 62. Now you are going to do exercise 12.1 on page 63. The first question says, show these fractions in diagrams like the example. So you have 1a, 1 over 4, so 1 quarter, and b, 2 over 3, so 2 thirds. So we're going to go to the board and do that now. But we're going to do 2 on the board as well. So 2 says, copy these shapes into your book. Shade the fractions. So you've got 2a, 3 over 4, and b is 5 over 6. So we're going to go look at this on the board. So 1a is 1 over 4. So this is 1a. Okay, 1 over 4. So what we do is we have 4 blocks or 4 parts of the circle, whatever you want to choose. So I'm choosing blocks 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now the top of the fraction is how many of these blocks are colored in. So we have 1 block covered in. So we color it in. And that's what number 1 wants you to do. So I want you to try B for me, please. So now we have question 2a. Question 2 wants you to color in the fractions. So it's the opposite of what we just did. We already have the shape. So we have 4 blocks. Now we need 3 of them to be colored in. So we color in 3 of them, just like that, and that's your answer. So you're going to try question B for me, please. Now if we go back to our exercise and read question 3, it says 7 friends share a bar of chocolate equally. A. How many sevenths are there in the bar of chocolate? Now, don't look at this picture. We're not looking at the picture. That's just an example. I'll show you how to do it on the board now. B is how many sevenths did each child get? C, how many sevenths did 3 children get altogether? And D, write 7 sevenths as a fraction. What does this fraction mean? So for question 3, it says 7 friends share a chocolate equally. That means that each child gets 1 piece of the chocolate. So if each child gets 1 piece of chocolate and there's 7 children, we have 1 piece of chocolate for the first child, 1 piece of chocolate for child number 2, 1 piece of chocolate for child number 3, 1 piece of chocolate for child number 4, 1 for child number 5, 1 for child number 6, and 1 for child number 7. So that means we have 7 pieces of chocolate. Now, if we want to put how many chocolates one child gets in a fraction, what are we going to do? Exactly what we have been doing. How many blocks are there? There are 7 blocks. Then we do our line. If one child is getting the piece of chocolate, how many chocolates are colored in if only one is getting? 1. And that is our fraction. But now, if 3 of those children are being put together, so we're going, how many pieces of chocolate do all 3 children get in a fraction? Now 3 blocks are colored in, so the fraction will look like that. 3 blocks colored in out of the 7 blocks. I want you to do the last question. It's going to, on your own, but I explain a little bit. So if you have 7 sevenths, that means 7 blocks are colored in out of the 7 blocks that there are. Now if we have 7 over 7, what do you think that means? If we color in every single block, doesn't that mean that the whole chocolate has become 1 fraction? So when you have 7 over 7, the same number over each other, it gives you 1. 1 whole chocolate is together now. So now we're looking at question 4. It says, look at this shape. So this one over here. How many equal parts does it have? So now let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. B. One part is called one what? So if there are 8 parts and we are coloring in one of them, so that's 1/8. What do we call it? Go back to page 62 and look at the table and find the fraction 1/8 and see what its name is. C. Write one part using a fraction symbol. So what did we say? 1/8. So now it says D. Draw the same shape and shade in 7/8. So you're going to redraw this and color in 7 out of the 8 blocks. E says if 7/8 is shaded, what fraction is not shaded? That one's going to be your one that you do all on your own. Try your best for me. Now, if we look at question 5, it says, look at these diagrams. So this one and this one. Write down the fraction that is shaded. Give the name of the fraction and write it as a fraction. So I'll do A with you. We count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the bottom will be 5. Let me show you. The bottom will be 5. Then we do our line. Now, how many are shaded? Count with me. 1, 2. So we do 2/5, just like that. Now, I want you to try give me the name of this fraction. And you're going to try work it out on your own or ask for help. Use the table on page 62. Now, lastly, question 6. It says, look at this diagram. What fraction has not been shaded? So now let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 pieces. That's 8 pieces. Now how many are not shaded in? You're going to count how many are not shaded in and put it over here. Okay. So that's exercise 12.1 on page 63. Just try your best. Send me a picture of it so we can mark it, and I'll see if you need help in any other way. Okay? But just try your best and enjoy your day.